is going to be going for that thing out the gates. Perhaps when you have some extra coin in the coffer and you want to try something different, throw a wrench into the plans of your enemies, try to catch them off guard. But there's a lot of kind of different things up in the air for this one. How Boss want to approach it. M80 can adjust their game plan from what was a difficult map 2 and map 3 in the prior series. And regardless, we have bought enough time, ladies and gentlemen. We are into map number 1. CT side of M80 is underway. This is the pick of Boss. Again, just to remind you all, Kevlar across the board, barring maNkz with the kit and smoke for M80. One set of utility for Boss as well on Cynic. And a straight play towards A is the call. Player back towards Temple will do some damage on towards Freshie, but that won't slow them down too long. It'll be a quick fall away from Rec and a 5 versus 5 retake going into this pistol round. As we know, 5 versus 5 post plants lend themselves to chaos.
Bring on the crazy train, folks. Swisher might get 3. He'll get 1 and 2. Darty will grab 2 as well and go for the 3rd. Rec trades it back to a 2v2. The kit is down and not in possession for M80. 1 taps to draw out the fights. Rec is pushing forward. Darty has him low on ammo. malbs has grabbed the kit and he's surging in. malbs with 1. Time is of the essence here. They have to get the bomb defused. And Rec, I believe, has got it. I believe malbs has enough time. And we should see another pistol round victory for M80 to kick off a series. Another 5 versus 5 pistol round retake for M80 to open up a series. This time, it's not a ninja. It's a normal round victory. But still, very chaotic, very scary towards the end. But it's good to see Darty Montana popping off with 3 headshots to kick off the pistol.
Yep, the individuals at least are feeling rather hot for Boss, or at least a couple of them are.
1.
I mean 1, but I'm sure I think I've seen a couple maps from Cynic and I believe Freshie in the first series where they did at least put up some decent numbers. 3 FAMASs, an M4, and an MP9 is the call for M80. Boss going for an investment of their own off the back of the pistol round bomb plant, and it's a mixed bag for both teams. 3 versus 2 is secured for Boss, but they have a player who's low on HPS, Darty Montana, the hero of the round prior in this one, at now 6 kills to his name. M80, though, still have 2 formidable weapons on 2 formidable players. Rec and Slacks. FAMAS's a flash, Kevlar and helmets. It's going to make the Mac-10 and the Galil struggle in the one-on-ones.
I almost want to see Darty toss that AK over to Brett or Freshie because he's so low on health, but at the same time, he's got all 6 of the kills for Boss right now. So he's doing damage. Slacks will not go too far forward. That's a good call, especially considering the man damage right now for M80. Brett is working his way up through mid, slipping into CT. Slacks, timing, gun out. Does he have his gun out? Is he ready for the possibilities? He is. He's not able to win that fight. Chunked down. Oh, well done. And now Brett has opened his account in the game as well. Bomb going down on B. The Darty Montana show is in session as the bomb goes down, and there's nothing Rec can do to stop Boss from winning this round. The Mullet Meister. 3 kills in each round. And Boss are out of the gates early. Exactly what they needed.
Out the gates early. Both these teams have struggled in the early game. That really does put them on a back foot. However, both teams getting on the board very early in this one. Rec doesn't even try to go for the A1S. I believe it was dropped in towards middle. Instead, save the FAMAS towards T-spawn. The A1S, okay, it was all the way up towards cave. No real chance there that it will end up in Freshie's capable hands. 1-1. Boss tie things up very quickly. Now the wind is in their sails. M80 going to force back, all but guaranteed. There's the investments. maNkz on a 5-7. Swisher gets an A1S with no Kevlar, dropping that over probably towards malbs if I had to guess. Swisher on just a deagle. A very selfless play from him. In this round, does have some bite from M80. If they play their cards right, Swisher gets a headshot, a niche angle. Rec has a FAMAS that could work. malbs on an A1S is a very scary prospect. The MP9 of Slacks up close and personal could also throw a wrench into the works. All on how they play their cards and how Boss reacts. We've seen Boss get blindsided here time and time again from Jaguar. This round, though, that will not be the case.
Just some rough pot shots going through by Swish. Slacks is hanging on sight, flamed out of position, and Darty will welcome him to the underworld. Another kill for Darty. So far, he has gotten at least 1 kill every single round. Not just the averages. There's Cynic on the FAMAS to take down Swisher. That Deagle removed from Cave. The rotations from M80 very pensive now, and maybe just a save call, probably just a save call. Rec might not be allowed to save, and he won't. There's Brett to take him down a peg. malbs does at least finish off Cynic, although Cryptic is still waiting for him. Freshy's charging in. Trade might be there. malbs one more on the exit, but he's pincered in. He has to fight his way through. Nade will chunk him down. Darty has fallen. malbs 1 HP. Finished by Barrett. It's his turn for the hat trick. And Boss up to nothing. 2-1 rather. And the force spy of M80 does not come to any sort of success. Boss looking like they have a third lined up and ready to go. They just got to push it over the line.
It should be theirs for taking. malbs will look to do at least some damage, though, with the Deagle. We have seen a lot of USP/save round kills done by interesting unorthodox setups from M80 and their opponent wildcard in the last series, so don't be surprised if we see a kill or two going their way. The issue is M80's gambled, and they've gambled wrong. Gamble over towards B, all 5 players there. Well, all 5 players at Boss have gone towards A, or have looked to hold the back lines towards A. Talking about Brett in middle with a MAC-10. He stands a very solid spot to harvest some cash if they come through middle. I think he might have been heard by malbs, however. Cynic, he's watching the back lines. How much can he do this angle?
Well, that's one. Sprays for more. Can't pick it up. Flashes out, just buying time. That's a team kill onto Cryptic by Darty. So he's killing everybody, not just the enemy. Barrett will grab another one on the MAC-10, farming some cash, runs out of ammunition, goes to the Glock. The Glock will take down the unarmored Slacks. And maNkz will survive and maybe grab something. Nope, nothing there for him to upgrade to. And so we see that 3-round streak from Boss.
3-round streak. Only 1 MAC-10 dropped by Boss. The best outcome you could realistically ask for. You never depend on a flawless round after all. M80 going to invest. There's still going to be some cracks. Swisher, no smoke, for example. Lack of a helmet for maNkz and Swisher, and malbs as well, might I add, makes the MAC-10 of Brett a very scary proposition. Boss as well have near universal AKs and a good utility. That won't stop maNkz, though. It's aggressive in middle. He presses forth. He drops that MAC-10 I mentioned before, but taking a point of real damage.
With that man advantage, M80 will look to scale forward. maNkz forced away from the snake, but Swisher comes in to claim his territory from Jaguar or Cheetah. Heard it called Cheetah as well. Micro has told me that he likes to call it Cheetah. I think Jaguar is better because it can be shortened to Jag, which is 1 syllable, and thereby faster.
Cheetahs are only in Africa. I don't think this map is set in Africa.
No, it's definitely like a Mayan ruin.
I was thinking it's South America, correct? So
yes, that is my assumption as well. And I believe there's also Spanish around.
I think my point stands. And I do agree. Shortening to 1 syllable. Pretty important in making succinct calls. To conclude, Micro's wrong. Just want to put that on the record.
And half of FPL by extension.
They're all wrong.
Wrong. That's a nice Molotov. Wards off too, and let's Boss get out onto the side. Freshy and Cynic with a very tall task ahead of them, and Freshy goes too far forward too quickly. No support. Cynic does get 1, but one thing's for sure, Nate, his rifle is coming online early. He's hitting some crispy headshots. That's a good sign for Boss. Not so good a sign for M80, because it looks like he's getting comfortable again with the rifle rather than the op. They haven't even sniffed at it. They've had opportunities to buy it. It's not even been a contemplation for Boss. And they're going to go for a timeout here. And I don't mind that either, because things got a little rough there. They got too engaged in that snake fight, and they got bit by it.
Yes, they did. Tactical pause, change things up, perhaps. Saw Brett get called out very early towards middle. The Mac 10 in hand. Change some things up. Read the tendencies that M80 have. Also, I want to highlight Snick, or I guess just say without hesitation, going for an AK. Here's they have foregone the scoped weapon for the T side. I can respect that call. M80 as well can't afford the luxury. maNkz instead, or Slacks instead, excuse me, on an AK, which is still a one-shot headshot. Still a very capable rifle after all. Cynic. There's his AK. Covers it. What's the play? Spread out across the map. One player holding middle. Passive. That is Brett, as per usual. Boss, in the meanwhile, pressuring across the map. Cryptic's on a Galil. Must have been dropped that by a teammate. Because he could have afforded an AK otherwise. But still a small concession to make overall. Where will a boss go? Bombs towards B. 3 players are here. 2 towards Snake. 1 outside the double doors. They haven't forced their hand yet. They haven't forced a commitment towards B, but are definitely favoring it at the moment.
We're under the minute mark now, and there's not really been much contact made by either side. Now with the Molotov towards bottom mid, maNkz can actually aggress. Box Molly burns away. The flash is countered in by Boss. They're winning the fights. It's 2 for none. Good support there from Freshie. malbs will take down Brett. But that is a small consolation right now. The bomb recovered and running in towards B. Swisher the lone defender here. Nobody there to help out. The one solo man back cube. Now malbs has made his way through. Slacks is coming in as well. There's no time for Boss to rotate. They have to commit to B. Bomb will be moving on towards the site in the form of Darty Montana. He'll go for the plant and he will be saved. And will do a tiny bit of chip damage. Darty will not escape alive, but all 3 players from M80 coming in the same direction. Not ideal at all. They do not have a kit in possession either, Nate, so time is of the essence. They have about 15 seconds to get on the bomb, and they've yet to find another kill besides Darty. Freshie sitting in cave will be able to pop out, but Slacks will deal with him as Cryptic falls in the meantime. Cynic, he's pushing in. The bomb is being defused. Slacks will hold the line. And the Opper with the AK makes it work, and M80 will tie things up at 3 apiece here.
3 versus 3 and a retake with 3 fights, 1 clean. The M80 hold their nerve in the retake, win the duels as necessary. Very well played from them. Boss just trying to hold their angles, trying to survive for as long as possible without giving information away, but resting far back like that in a post plant is not going to work against a disciplined and regimented roster like M80. They play their own retake. They are not harassed and forced into uncomfortable positions because Boss are hiding. They're allowed to run through their protocols as they would during practice. Very well done from M80 on this defense to retake. And now Boss are on a half buy. Couple Tech 9s, couple P250s, all 5 towards B. That blindside from Swisher, perhaps from Jaguars. He spams through the smoke. maNkz finding a second. Darty offers some resistance, but Swisher claps right back with a kill in response. 4 versus 2. 1 player might go down here. Freshie has an AK in hand, holding an off angle, but malbs is ready for it. Swisher as well drops Cynic, a succinct end to the round. And no bomb plant means Boss will get no extra injection of cash into round number 8.
They'll buy up around this at least. They'll have AKs, Galils, and utility. At least some utility. It's not going to be ideal for Freshie at the very least. But Darty has cooled off, Nate. 7 kills in the first 3 rounds. 1 kill since. 4 kills for Brett in the first 4 rounds. 1 kill since. Or 3 kills, rather, since. The early going was really good for Boss, but once the guns have really solidified, things have not gone their way. Although Freshie dry peeks Wreck on a crouch. The crouch threw off the pre-aim of Wreck as well. That was good reaction time from young Freshward. That'll get a man advantage for Boss for the first time in a while. the op from Slacks beginning to reaggress to A main, but he was punished significantly by Wildcard going for that kind of a peek in their earlier matchup, so he will think better of going for that here again. And what's
punished for holding up close, I think. Right, an aggressive play out. Instead, it's just a more passive hold loss. Running a default, getting a player in position to sow some chaos, perhaps. Throw a bit of a fake. That's Freshy in the corner. He's sticking around. It looks like Boss are still hell bent on going towards B, and it could work out. There's nobody on the site proper at the moment.
This reaggression, it can work, but can also be the end of the round, and it's been spotted. Swisher tagged, but Slacks capitalizes. Freshy has fallen. Malb spots a couple jumping through the Molotov a bit late, and it gives Malb some space. He'll double up, half blind, and make it a Hattie. Malbs pops off individually this time for M80. And the big guns are stepping up for the CT side. Boss, they had the opener, but they couldn't make anything else work out of it. Too slow, perhaps, to make a decision. And M80 punish. Malbs and Swisher are having themselves a start to this one. 11 and 10, respectively. Meanwhile, maNkz, Slacks, and Rek a combined 9.
They are too slow. They're too pensive. They find an opening. They should be looking for openings elsewhere, probing around and not committing so quickly. Well, I say quickly, but not committing off of one pick, finding more information before going for said commitment. maNkz doubling up in the middle. It's just pistols. Expect it to be a rather convincing victory for M80, but you'd hope for at least some resistance being offered by Boss. They find one solitary frag onto Swisher. The round is over in a blink of an eye, and M80 have guaranteed themselves at least even footing for the second half. Very solid start on Ancient. Again, the pick of Boss. And Boss need to switch up that mid-round. They find the openings. Very good start. Looks pretty good. But look for something else. Don't just look for an opening and then slow things down to a crawl. Be a little bit more adaptive. Find an opening elsewhere. Probe around. Get control. And now they feel a little bit too one-dimensional. Good nade to start things off on a Cryptic. It's going to be a change of pace towards B. Cryptic selflessly entering out. Malbs, though, lines up 1 and 2. Tags a third, and Darty is not expecting the double up towards Cave. 3-1 for Swisher. Spray from Cynic is not good enough. The flash from Rek proving too influential. The last alive is Freshy. He'll find a second, but Slacks is up. Will not miss from the back lines. 7-3 in favor of M80. And again, succinct rounds ending in their favor, and no bomb plants means that Boss's economy is constantly being hamstrung.
You have to know Swisher is going to be in Cave. He's always in Cave. He's always in Cave and Jaguar. If you're playing Ancient, Swisher is Cave and Jaguar. CT side, T side, Swisher is Cave and Jaguar. You have to be ready. And that's an oversight Boss cannot afford to make at this late stage in the half. maNkz goes aggressive, and the flashbangs completely obliterate him. Now here comes Swisher. Again, Cave, Jaguar pushes down Snake, and he takes down 2. Cryptic and then Barrett. Malb supporting with a flashbang for the second. And that completely kiboshes what Boss had going for him. Malb sitting in towards middle. Cynic pushing in. That's a nice fight won by him. He'll slip through CT, but Rek in the meantime has himself a pair. And it's all up to Cynic. What can he do in the 1v3? Swish is crouching around. Headshot from Cynic. That's 2 of the 4 he needs on the round. 1v3. Ollie forces him in. He'll spray away, but he cannot finish off Slacks, who composes himself and puts the finishing blow on Cynic. 8-3 for M80 here. And Boss only have themselves to blame, Nate.
Yeah, it's been one-dimensional. It's either go for it outright or get a kill and slow things down to a crawl and go towards B. A lot of B focus from this team. Makes me wonder exactly what they saw in this map as well. Maybe they saw that M80 can bleed. Regardless, it feels like M80 are head and shoulders above their adversaries right now, individually and as a unit.
Now, I will say these are 2 teams that are pretty heavily slanted towards the CT side on this map. That opening pick from Swisher does not make things better for Boss, looking for a fourth round out of this half. The bomb rotating away. But this is kind of the same thing that Boss has been doing. Get a pick, commit to B, lose a guy, work around, fall away from where that initial contact was made. Mid-control for a moment. The Slacks will go for a bit of overkill. Ooh, second kill for Slacks as he pushes forward. maLbs will fall to Freshie. But of course, Swisher is still there on site. maNkz falls. Darty trying to come alive again here in the dying embers of half number 1. Slacks won't see anything. Swisher domes Freshie. Slacks with the last. And a 9-3 confident half for M80. We'll see you in 3 minutes.
A domineering first half from M80 leaves us at a very solid 9-3 scoreline as they enter their T-side half. It's Pineapple Phillips and Boggs on the microphones. And Boss with it all to do in the server. Double dualies for Cynic and Cryptic, both super soldiered up as well. Kit Smoke for Freshie, and Brett with a single solitary flashbang to support. It's going to be a split in towards A with donut control being gained. Now the bomb coming through A main. It's going to be another 5 versus 5 post plant. This was won by M80 in the first half. Can Boss answer with a pistol round win of their own?
This was 3-1 Boss a long time ago. They need to get back on the board here and now. They cannot afford to drop this one. Darty, that's crispy. Cryptic comes in with another. There's still players to find on the site. Darty is second. Wreck behind Big Box, just tapping away, being the nuisance. Malbs in the meantime grabs another. Wreck on the drive-by, brings it to a 1v2. Malbs has health. Darty and Cynic do not. They do have a kit on Darty, however, and Malbs needs to go. Malbs needs to spam. He's on the wrong angle. He's got the wrong idea, and that's another ninja this time for a Boss. That's 2 Series 2 ninjas on the pistol round. And Boss, who could not afford to lose that pistol, come up victorious by the skin of their teeth.
Very well played. I guess the best played situation, all things considered. Nothing else they could have really done, barring a fight. And honestly, even in a 2 versus 1 on full HP, clearing up that close right corner against Bulbs of all players with a Glock is not an easy endeavor. Pause called by the likes of Boss. I'm sure they're riding the highs of that ninja defuse. Gives them a way back into it, but they can't afford to squander it. And as you can tell, it's not going to be an easy path forward either. M80 got the bomb plant. They're going to get rifles because of it.
Rifles up for both sides. An MP9 for Cryptic is the only SMG in the field to play. No utility at all for Slacks. He went all in on the Galil and armor. And a technical pause has been called. Oh, I'm getting flashbacks, Nate.
Don't say that. It's been great thus far. We had one technical issue at the start before we began. Don't bring the bad juju upon us.
I don't know, man. I'm seeing them black and white and Fortunate Sons on in the background.
It's a really bad prognosis of the situation if that's the case. Also, update for you mainly, because I'm sure all the other people at home are watching both streams for the most part. Liquid have won the first map versus Wildcard 13-3.
Oh, boy.
3.
Worse.
Even worse, yes. What was the map? It was the Overpass. It was the pick of Wildcard and lost at 13-3. Next is Ancient, and the final is Anubis.
Hey. It's not going to 3.
No, I would agree. I would wholeheartedly agree. Difficult spot. Not quite as difficult as a technical boss, though, which is, again, where we find ourselves. Boss,
Yay.
critical piss around win. But not out of the woods yet.
No. There's a long way back in for Boss. But they have at least found water, Nate, and they can follow the flow of that water downhill. Survival tip for everybody. If you're lost in the woods, find water, find a stream, and follow it down. That's how you get downhill. That's usually a good way to find civilization.
Unless there's waterfalls.
That is true. In which case, good luck, have fun.
I've had to jump off them, let me tell you. Not fun. It's frightening.
But how tall are the waterfalls you jump off of on a regular basis?
20 to 25 feet.
Oh, okay.
Big.
That's decently tall.
That's tall enough to scare me.
Yeah. And water surface tension is something serious.
That's more
That's
like
why belly flopping hurts so much.
That's more like 50 feet, though. That's more of not even 50 feet. That's even further. It's got to be triple digits. We're not going. You're finding a triple digit waterfall. You might give up.
Now, what is the height of an Olympic diving board?
30 feet?
Okay, so you're going about this height of an Olympic diving board.
That was a guess. That was a. Let me,
I don't know. I'm just wondering.
Olympic diving board height. 10 meters, so 33-ish feet.
Yeah, 30-ish feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not bad.
So, are we going to get Pineapple Phillips doing somersaults into the water off
Absolutely
of waterfalls?
not. No.
No? Sad.
I'm wearing three layers of clothing. Okay, I'm sorry.
It never stopped Sir Shackleton. If anyone gets that reference, I will be very impressed.
The guy that jumped off a comically high diving board into a kiddie pool?
No, the first guy to try and travel through Antarctica.
Oh.
On a clipper ship. Apparently there's a very good book called Endurance on that, which I'm probably going to pick up at some point.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is there an end in sight for this technical pause? I'm gonna ask the.
I don't know. This is why I said I was getting flashbacks, Nate.
Yeah, I was hoping you wouldn't. I was hoping this would be one of those normal tech pauses because there's, as far as I can tell, no one disconnected from the server.
I know, which is the weird part. Unless somebody's just taking a very elongated bio break.
Yeah, and Freshie and
FAMAS bursting.
Both of them are. Freshie and Brett are both bursting.
Oh my gosh.
So they're both here.
Cryptic and Cynic and Darty are not making movements.
Oh, Cryptic's moving.
Oh, there's Cryptic's moving.
They're trading for mosses.
Oh, they're trading. Oh, look at that's the Anubis collection FAMAS.
Cyano splatter, is that what it's called?
I'm not sure on the skin names. I'm a little rusty on those. It's not my forte.
If it's right, I need help.
Well, we're going to look at us because this one has taken a while. Apologies on the technical delays throughout the night, folks. Nothing we can do about it, but yeah, I mean, we had a pistol round and ninja defuse, and now we have this big lull in the action. I think that can yield some positive results for both sides. I think for wild card, or rather for boss, excuse me. That was a Freudian slip. We can see them just calm down from that super just adrenaline high that you get from pulling off a critical round like that. And for M80, they can just calm down and be like, hey, we got a 9-4 lead. We lost a ninja. Cool. It happens. Get back in the game. Finish the job. Job's not done.
Yeah, I'm wondering what both teams are talking about, if anything, during this technical pause. Are they talking out strats? Are they just working on the team chem, keeping up the comms, having a good time? I'm genuinely curious because I have to imagine M80 have some sort of quirky-esque play going into this round. They're going to be not the lightest on utility. They're not going to have a full set of utility. Their buy is going to be all over the place. Some players are going to have pistols, or at least one player's going to have a pistol. Most of them are going to have rifles. So it's very interesting. Do they want to go for the fights outright? Do they want to go for a set play out the gates to try and get a bomb plant and go from there? What do they want to go for? There's a lot of options, especially given the fact that Boss's economy isn't fully on point as of yet either. It's not a rifle round proper coming in from the CT side is my point. So
I like a mid-B split, personally. Get mid control, get snake control, and try and just crunch. And then go from there. That's what I'm feeling.
That could definitely work.
Just given the firepower that M80 have available, take the range advantage, use the AKs and the Galils, and then get some B control as well so you can't get that snake crunch in. And if you get a couple of picks, cool. If you don't, well, you have mid control and you can work off of that.
Yeah. Veritable smorgasbord of potential opportunities for them, but again, hoping this technical pause is not going to take that long. But the longer we wait, the more it seems like this is going to be the theme of today's broadcast, Boggs.
So Stove is saying that Liquid won 13 rounds in a row. I need to fact check this because big if true, as the saying is.
He probably did. I think I have it open actually. Check. Run the numbers real quick. Yeah, they did.
No way.
They lost pistol, second and third, and then won 13.
Gosh.
That's interesting. That's an outcome.
That is indeed an outcome. Twist with a 152 HLTV rating, 99.6 damage. Wow.
So it's a lot of damage.
That is a lot of damage.
I dare say a plethora.
That is indeed a lot of damage. It's a whale of damage. And they're probably going to start their second map here pretty quickly.
Yeah, if I had to guess, they will. Unless they have the same issues barring their stream as we have ours. Again, to remind everybody, this is map 1 of 3. M80 up 9-4 on their opponent's map pick. Having lost the pistol round, this is an opportunity for Boss to get back into it. But both teams will have a bye facilitated by the bomb plant. That is where we're at. We're at. Also, Boggs, search and rescue, do not wander. That is what I was told by somebody who said they do search and rescue. Luckily, I'm never lost. And it sounds like we finally have an answer to our prayers. It sounds like we are finally back in game, ladies and gentlemen. Timer is indeed counting down, but something could happen. I'm going to hold my breath and wait. Boss, though, need a 5th. Need a 6th, I dare say, to really get their confidence back and some momentum in swing. 2 MP9s as well. They could harvest a bit of cash.
No pistols for M80.
Mixed bag of a start. Lost an MP9, but gained a kill onto the top frag of M80. I'd say that's a worthy trade. The MP9 of Cryptic as well could find tremendous success. Swisher, Wreck, neither of them have helmets. It's going to be a straight walkout. A main Freshie caught in the worst timing possible. Swing from Swisher on a whim finds the opener. That's the site taken. And this duel in middle means everything. If Rex drops the 3 versus 3 going into the retake, if he stays alive or if he gets a kill as well, it's a potentially insurmountable advantage. Cynic finds maNkz. Wreck, though, drops Cryptic. 2 versus 3 means that Boss are going to head for the hills, save these M4s for the following, and M80 will emerge victorious with the second round of the half and secure double digits on Ancient.
Double digits early here and stymieing that pistol round victory of Boss as well. Exactly what the doctor ordered for M80 and the opposite of what the doctor ordered for Boss. At least Cynic and Darty should be able to save here. They're in decently defensible positions. About 5 seconds on the hunt, and it does not look like Wreck will overextend. Wise call on 8 HP. AKs. Galils again for M80. Boss will not invest around the rifles. Never mind, they will. Freshie's going in for the deagle and armor. Brett will probably pick up a deagle as well. Cryptic, something along those lines. 5-7 for both Brett and Cryptic. Smokes on 5. Full belts for Cynic and for Darty. And for M80, Nate, the chance to really establish that stranglehold. With Boss teetering on the edge of another reset and teetering on the edge of losing their map pick. This one is coming down to the wire. And for Boss, that wire is getting thinner and thinner. For M80, it's turning into a road.
Getting paved,
wow.
I would say. Cynic and Darty, though. 2 for 1. And the spam connects onto Wreck as well, thinking him down to 26. Boss might have found something off the back of this pair of rifles. Might have something to hold on to, even if it is just a fleeting hope. Slacks Wreck Malbs, though. Wreck has been a monster in the first series. They didn't quite win it. Malbs, though, has been a monster all day. Slacks as well has had his moments. Cannot count M80 out until the round is truly won in their favor.
You can never count them out. And I would say the same for Boss as well. They have players that can take over rounds, too. Darty, Brett, Freshie. Slow and steady. Decoy nades being thrown by Malbs as the bomb waits outside of B. Freshie with the 1 dig. And now this becomes so much better for Boss. Cynic and Darty, the 2 defenders of B, have the rifles, but they're low on health. Smokes down, Molly's in. Cynic peeks out right time. It's all up to Slacks now. 1 shot, 2 shot. Bomb planned, forthcoming. Freshie might just sprint for the smoke, but that's expected. Slacks goes for a spam. He's out of ammo. He's out of time. It's over. It's Boss. And he gets the 1-tap on Freshie to stay alive at least. But Boss are gifted a round. That is a big slip for M80. And for Boss, a lifeline tossed to them as they are caught in current.
Far from over, though. M80 are one to force by with some pistols, some utility here and there. They have the AK. They have a second as well in tow for Malbs being dropped over. And Boss, their economic woes are far from over as well. They lost 4/5 of the roster, and even though that buy was ugly, it was still a force buy. It means the only thing they have to invest into this one is the victory spoils, the wins, which is about 3250 or thereabouts. Not a lot of money, not enough to get an M4 and a Kevlar, let alone a full investment. So the buy's kind of going to be all over the place. That 1 little save for Cryptic, an MP9 for Freshie, a FAMAS for Brett, and a pair of M4s, an A1S and an A4 on Cynic and Darty. The utility's lacking. They have 1 kit. They're lacking helmets on both Darty and Brett. That means that this is a very fragile standing. M80, with some solid shots and some good team coordination, could very well unseat this tenuous advantage which Boss has.
Freshie exactly destroyed. Like not the best upgrade for Wreck, but it's still something. Cynic is here, Brett is here as well, but Brett destroyed by that MP9. Malbs with another, and well, not out of the woods indeed. Stranded in the woods, more like. Hunted by a Wendigo, our boss. I don't know what else they can do here. Just losing dry fights to pistols. Not a good time to be on boss right now, as things are getting worse and worse. Now, I will say on the bright side, Cynic's doing decent on the rifle. I'd like to see a little more electricity from him, but overall, it's an outclassing right now by M80. And this is kind of the M80 we expected to see throughout this tournament, Nate, that we didn't get to see in the first series. We only got to see on Nuke. And that, I think, raises the question again, which M80 do we see on maps 2 and 3?
Yeah. That's what we saw at the start of the last series. Have to keep their feet on the gas, or their foot on the gas, I should say. Brett in middle. I like the idea with the CZ, but he takes so much utility damage. Cynic finds more success, however, dropping Swisher in the meanwhile, tying things back up. Through the smoke, Freshie at long range to the 5-7 finds one as well before slinking away. Player top towards Snake, towards Cat, is caught by Malbs. Malbs doubling down, finds a second, and that might be what M80 need to stabilize in this round. The last two, Darty and Cryptic, both towards B, one towards top Snake. Oh, wasn't quite spotted by Slacks, however, and he is caught with the bomb now dropped. 2 versus 2 secured. Cryptic finally back on the board after a lengthy absence. M80 still critically don't know where that other player is. They don't know where Darty Montana is. History would say he's over towards B, but this round it means that he could be literally anywhere.
Rek waiting for the cross. Spots out the first, swings for the second, and he does it all alone. Malb started it off. Rek finished the job. Map point here for M80. And Boss will not have much to fight with. Pistols, MP9s, light armor, no helmets. It's going to be a bit ugly. It's going to be very scrappy. And all signs point to an M80 opening map victory on their opponent's pick again. And I say that again to caution you all, because what we saw from M80 on map 1 in the previous series was much the same as we're seeing here. What we saw on maps 2 and 3 were a far cry from what we know M80 can achieve.
Stuck. MP9 in the corner. He's got to wait the flames out and then try to cross away. He will be given that luxury. Already, though, pressuring down. Has support from Brett. Good opening to find. It's a bit chaotic. It's a bit scrappy, but it's working for Boston. In the meanwhile, Brett finds a second. Ball towards top. Cat can't find anything. Too many targets to switch between. 5 versus 2. 3 for the price of none. Slacks and Rek, the last two outside the double doors of B. Bomb is dropped in the hands of Boss. At this point, M80 should fall back, maybe try to find a player hunting a little bit too assertively, but overall, this should be a save from the remainder of the M80 crew.
For 2/5 of M80. Freshie won't even be taken down yet. He'll toss in a flashbang and just bide his time. They have M80 cornered now. If they can take away these guns, what a beautiful day it would be for Boss. Still a very long road back in. Would be 6 in a row required to take it to overtime. 7 total. Slacks peeking a little too far, perhaps. Might stick his neck out and get it lopped off. This is the no-scope Darty there. And he'll follow up on the Rek. There's that 6th on the board for Boss. 6 in a row required for OT now. But again, very long road back in. A buy can come forward here from M80, but it would not be the best, so instead they're going to go for a half, and I like this call. They have a lead. You might as well play with it. Play with the pistols. If you win it, cool. If you don't, no big deal. Get your full buy up. End this as soon as possible. Do not let Boss stick around.
I don't have any confidence. I'm out here. Finds a nice opening in towards middle. It's a little bit of damage, but that's understandable against a Deagle.
It's our first time seeing Cynic with a big green here, Nate.
I hadn't even noticed. Op and hand versus pistols.
He picked it up off of Slacks.
That makes sense. I was gonna say also Slacks. That's 0 for 3 on shotgun op shots. Might need a lesson or two.
Yeah, you're the master of the shotgun op. So
I am. It's true. I only use it at sniper ranges though, so I might not be the best teacher.
I'll still never forget the time you no-scoped a teammate in the head from heaven on short.
Yeah, Ito on open, in open of all things. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
That was that's one of my favorite moments.
I think I was jumping too. That was the best part.
You were.
Yeah.
You were jumping out of heaven.
It was a classic moment.
That was a classic moment.
Good tag on the Cryptic. That's the scout of Slacks. Mortally wounds. It makes the takedown a lot more worrisome. Speed of worrisome through the wall. Swisher jumps up, spots him, takes him down. Cryptic cannot catch a break in this series. Darty goes 1 for 1. maNkz gets the trade. That's another rifle recoverable. And now Cynic's op stands a real danger of being overrun. This could be it. Another player caught looking the wrong way with utility in hand. Cynic does at least find one post-mortem. But it's a 2 versus 2. Slacks, a scout holding the cross. Swisher can swing off contact. He'll wait. He'll swing at the perfect time. Freshie caught. Last alive. Could be one tapped by the scout. Brett finds one. But the scout is scary. Brett is not turned away, not dissuaded. He will swing. He will find 3, and he will find the round. 7-12. A round that Boss should not have let get this close, but a round that they do at least emerge victorious in.
Well, that one got way too messy for Boss. They lose 4 against nothing. Swisher comes up big, but he can't just close the job. Slack struggling up close and personal, op or scout. The end result is the same, although not knowing if a player is low or not can definitely force a player into going for the headshot with that scout. Double utilities used toward mid. Flashbangs used, sprays down. Aggression. Name of the game here for Boss. Slack spotted the jump, it looks like. And Swisher now behind the flames, biding his own time to peek around behind. Brett is exposed, and malbs will take him down. Freshie has pushed down low as well. Cryptic, passive hold for Cave. But Swisher is there for Freshie, and that's a man advantage back to M80. Bomb working its way back to B. Cryptic and Cave already there on site. Cryptic is in a good defensible spot. But Swisher is the king of Cave. He makes it his palace, his throne room. And now with Cynic tagged down low, things become so much more difficult for Boss here on the CT side. Time to execute onto B. Flashes in, Molly's out. Darty only good for 1. And malbs finishes off Cryptic. It's a 22 HP Cynic with an op. And not even a prayer in a 1v3.
He has to try. Would be BM not to. Backs are literally against the wall. He'll slink forward. There's no chance. Time about halfway gone at this point. Around a third of the way gone, I should say. Op duel 1. That's a nice one. Only the op got brought out sooner. If we won duels like that, it might have been a different story. Cynic trying to pre-fire. Knows he's low. Here's the first, but doesn't pull off the shot. 13-7. M80 take their opponent's map pick. They lose a couple rounds, a little bit of momentum there towards the end, but overall, it is still a convincing one in their favor, and it's a map where across the board, they look better than their opponents.